I have therefore decided to raise the level of influenza pandemic alert from phase 5 to phase 6.
Dan untuk itu kerajaan memutuskan untuk melaksanakan Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan.
Hari ini, Perintah Kawalan Pergerakan dilaksana di seluruh negara bagi mengekang penularan COVID-19.
On March 18, 2020, the Malaysian government imposed a statewide lockdown movement control order (MCO) to contain the COVID-19 outbreak. Wearing of face masks is made mandatory during pandemic COVID-19 in Malaysia. Individuals who do not wear face masks will be issued a compoundable 1,000 ringgit under the Prevention and Control of Infectious Disease Act 1988. Findings from a study in Beijing show that use of face masks by primary patient and family interaction prior to the primary patient developing symptoms reduced the risk of infection by 79%. It is important to wear and dispose mask correctly, otherwise instead of protecting you, the mask becomes the source of infection. Do not touch the front of the face as it may be contaminated. Carefully untie it from the straps or stretch the ear loops. Handle only by the ear loops or ties. Fold to enclose the outside surface. Place the mask in a plastic bag, then discard it in a closed bin. Finally, wash hands with soap and water or use sanitizer. The rising fear and awareness among the public over the pandemic COVID-19 has caused a high demand of face masks. While face masks become critical instrument in the fight against COVID-19, they have also proven to be a significant new source of pollution. Many individuals had been used face masks to stop and prevent the COVID-19 outbreak. But what about safety disposing of their masks? Millions of germs and chemical microplastic can be produced from a single face mask. Materials used in the making of face masks may cause pollution to the environment due to improper disposal. It can accumulate and release harmful chemicals and biological substances such as bisphenol A, heavy metals, and pathogenic microorganisms. These may pose indirect adverse impacts on plants, animals, and humans. Discarded masks may risk spreading coronavirus to waste collectors, litter pickers, or members of the public who first come across the litter. Individuals who don face masks in public places during Malaysia's COVID-19 pandemics increased from 55% in February 2020 to 87% in April 2020. As a result of the increased use of face masks, these solid waste contribute to landfill and medical waste accumulation.
Why is this threatening to wildlife? It's just a mask, isn't it? But have you ever wondered what would happen if this were to get entangled on the flipper of a sea turtle? Also, some animals might confuse this with food, and while some might be able to excrete it, some might not. Those who cannot excrete this would end up with compaction in their stomach. They'll end up with not being able to eat enough food. They could end up being starved to death. Okay. So, what are the threats to the environment? Now, the threats to the environment will also be indirect threats to both wildlife and people. Now, if they were to be in a single large piece, you might say that's not too bad. But if this were to be floating on the surface of the ocean, it can block sunlight from filtering down into the water. And in the water, we have something called phytoplankton. Now, did you know that phytoplankton produce 70% of the Earth's oxygen? It's like cutting off our air supply. But the most important thing about using disposable face masks is that don't litter. Throw it into a bin with inside. Always make sure that it's inside another plastic bag in your bin. Because if it were to be on its own, it can easily fly out of the bin. Okay, let's dispose of our waste in a proper, in a responsible, in an ethical manner. Thank you very much.
So, what are the solutions to overcome this problem? Placing designated trash bins for disposing of used face masks. Choose more environmentally friendly face masks. Wearing proper personal protective equipment when handling the waste to avoid disease transmission, including disinfecting all disposable masks, trash bins, and vehicles that handle the waste. The government should enhance and emphasize knowledge, attitude, and practice among the school-going children on the importance of proper face mask disposal. It is just as critical to properly dispose of these face masks as it is to wear them in the fight against COVID-19.